my friend. The films or the shots that I couldn't find before, they were all on my phone. And all of a sudden today, the computer has revealed the shots. They have been released from digital bondage, those and plenty of others that have gone missing. And digital bondage, yeah, we're all going to know about that one day, aren't we? And so I'm going to show you the missing shots now, just because I've got them, just for the sake of it. And then there's some other little bits as well, stuff that just don't fit anywhere else. So this is a Melange, a Farrago municipal tip of films. I kind of apologise, but the eclecticism could be very entertaining. I hope, you never know. It might get us back on track as well. So here we go. Let's look at some odds and ends. Nearly says something else. Okay, we're back in the old house, not in the car. And yet again, I'm having to wait for things to arrive and stuff like that. A bit checkmated, so I brought it along. I brought this along. If you want to see the parts before I sprayed them, there's not a lot of difference because I've just sprayed them green and the plastic was green. But have a look at the first film, the one before this, obviously. Anyway, I'm rambling. Here we are, parts. I wonder how much I can get done. Obviously, I want to do, I want to do justice to it. But yeah, I think we could get a lot done before I have to move on. I've got a little box to put all the partially made sections in. So, and I was just looking at the comments. I think it was 11 hours ago I posted why I think this is a particularly significant model. And the comments so far are great. There's a whole bunch of them. Some of them are hilarious. Somebody says about photo etched parts, you got to watch yourself because you get the worst paper cuts. Yes, yes, you do. So hopefully no paper cuts with this one then, eh? Oh yes, the gong. I miss the gong as well. I've got to transfer some stuff off the broken computer onto the Porter brain, and then I can put it onto the other computer. We'll get there. Not in a rush, but we will get there. What was the other thing somebody said that's relevant? Oh yes, I won't disturb the drying things, but the limber. Apparently the limber, this connecting shaft is the wrong way. And I might be able to find it and quote from it. You never know. Hold on, bear with me. Look at all these lovely pieces. I should have prepared this beforehand. This is wasting your time. Here we are. AB Mark II. Watch out. The first one I made decades ago went together brilliant. Then it was pointed out to me that the limber tow hook battery saver, that the limber tow hook and tow bar were in the reverse places. Whoa. Well, I'm going to make it as prescribed by the instructions because that's what this project is about. But if I do a second one, I'll look into that properly and try and sort that one out. It's probably just a job of turning things around. The other thing is this base for the gun. I've often seen setting on the limber, which is interesting when they're towing it along. So that'll be an addition to the project. Anyway, this is going along okay, a bit wibbly wobbly. This side isn't happy, and there's a splodge of glue just there. I don't think my phone will get too close. And this took a little bit of negotiation, but we got there. And the gun, I don't know if we'll be able to see it. The light isn't good either. The gun, big gap down the middle. There are 3 holes and 3 pins to go in the holes. They're not very pronounced, but you can probably see there at the tip. When you put the pins in the holes, the actual gun, the 2 sides don't line up. What a strange way of doing it, 2 sides. It'd be more interesting to do the barrel and the shaft underneath. But anyway, that's part of this fun. So I will try and tidy the gun up a bit. But yeah, there is one side overlaps the other. And so it's almost like a shadow. That'll just take a tiny bit of trimming. I don't want to do too much of that because this is a nostalgia trip as well. But anyway, coming along, lots of tidying up to do, but that's what we're here for. So I think I've got to go home now. The off button don't work on my phone. And then I found some bits and pieces of the old quad set that I've got. So I managed to get them all in one place, which was key. And so we've now got this, which is totally separate. Oh, not the 25-pounder and quad again, you say? Well, life's a bit bitty and random at the moment, which is making my model making inconsistent and piecemeal. So we're probably going to get some very odd films in the upcoming couple of weeks until everything starts to be a bit more cohesive and coherent again. So I'm not going to try and falsify a film out of this. What we've got is some bits that we've seen in other previous films about discovering boxes. And I don't think these bits were in the same box, so I've brought them together for a start. I've got the 25-pounder and quad in my head, so I'm getting on with it. So here we are. This is from when I was a kid. Now, I could date this. I might go back and do so, if I can. But it's not going to be easy. Some of you geniuses will know off the top of your heads, but there's some clues here. This isn't the ordinary Airfix. Look, the interior is yellow, as is some of the underside, which means it's from that set they did. I loved those sets. This was from the El Alamein set, the Allies one. And I bought that, and I bought the Africa Corps one. So they had a little, they vacuum formed. I can't remember what they are. You know, thin plastic, well, landscape diorama. And then you got a load of Africa Corps, 8th Army figures in this one. And you got this model, and you got the Lee/Grant tank kit, which I've also found, we might come back to. So anyway, this is a relic of that. I bet you somewhere I've still got some of the men, but I know I haven't got the landscape. I wish I had. They were nice little things. They also did Guadalcanal, didn't they? And possibly, oh, Stalingrad. Oh, I love that one. That was a good one. Anyway, so what we've got is for me in my teens, or not even that, moderately well painted Western Front version, which means it's a repaint later on. So I probably repainted it in my teens, despite actually getting this thing when I was probably about 9 or 10. So probably 3 years later, gave it a repaint. And for me, it's not bad, particularly as a kid. Although it all goes wrong over here, because this is just plain green. The man is, for some reason, wearing grey. I never got round to painting his flesh, and he's got a terrible bit of sprue on the top of his head, which I was worried about when I was remaking the model recently. So I think I need to take this back to the original desert colour. Ordinarily I wouldn't interfere, because it's in itself it's a relic, as I said, but I've overpainted an original anyway, and I do want to make the whole model again and do it in this camouflage. So let's just hope I can match it. So let's get this back to desert. Look, I've also done the centres of the wheels. The wheel hub's grey. I don't know what was going on there. Something was happening and it didn't quite pan out. Underneath this, we've got yellow, and we got yellow there. And I'd started putting the names of these things on, even though I've memorised the whole lot of them. And I've made a mess of this one because I painted black over it. You can see pounder. You can almost see the 25. So it's now at the point of botch and broken. So let's buck it up and get it back to what it should be, in commemoration of those marvellous little sets. So there we are, just a little one. This will be an ongoing thing. We'll come back to this another day. On the workbench elsewhere, I've got a Hawker Harrier, which we'll look at in a separate film. There you go, I'm teasing you now, aren't I? Clickbait and all that rubbish. Anyway, get on with it. Beige, what more can you say? Probably need another coat here and there. Can you see? Bit of green. Then I'll do the tyres, then I'll glue the wheels back on, and that will sort of be it. And then I'll have to hang on until I discover some relevant markings. This did have markings on it, but I think they were tank ones, so it obviously mucked about. And that's all, I reckon. Keep it snappy. Moving on. And so, my lovely chums, we come to the end of that shambles, but I feel that's cleared a blockage, and we're now able to look at something like this. Perhaps this is what we will be looking at next. Who knows? Depends what the computer feels like doing, doesn't it? Yes, artificial dunceness. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your tolerance, as I often say, and I will be back soon, hopefully with a Hawker Harrier.